Yep, it's me again. They hate me, that's why they give a fuck about me at the same time. As always, JD Miles, the MGTOWs they love to hate. Even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time. And I'm back again for tonight's topic of discussion. Why isn't paternity fraud a crime? And before I begin, shout out to Dr. Sheba, who's asking the right who's asking the hard questions here. I mean, you have all different types of fraud which is punishable under law. But the question everybody should ask is, will all these frauds being a crime punishable under law, why isn't paternity fraud a crime? And because paternity fraud is not a crime, these females who falsely claim these men to be biological fathers of their children, having them pay child support, some even locked up. Why are they not punished when the truth comes out that they are telling a lie? Now, I would play Dr. Sheba's video. I really want to do it. However, due to some copyrighted scenes of the video, I am not trying to get copyright strike. So I'm not going to play the video. However, the link to the full video will be in the description box. All MGTOW brothers, please take a look, because she is definitely hitting the nail home with this. But according to I'm just going by my own personal study. And there are many key factors in this. One key factor to why paternity fraud isn't a crime is that even after it's been proven that that the female committed paternity fraud, the system and the government still wants to treat her like a victim. Basically, they're so sympathetic towards the female who committed paternity fraud by claiming a man is the father of her child, which is not his. Or shall I say just another way of saying, you're trying to victim blame. Another reason is how it's going to affect the child. And yes, the child, and as I stated before in previous videos, the children are the main victims of it all, because they are being lied to. They're being told that, oh, this man is your father, when in actuality, they find out that the man that raised them is not their biological father. Another man is. Some don't even find out until later on. See, in situations like this, the courts is only seeing the best interest in the mother and the child, more than the father or the supposed father. even if the child is not his. Even if the child is not his, they still want to protect the mother and the child. Oftentimes, they don't even want to see the mother go to jail over it. I'm just being upfront and real. Another key reason why paternity fraud is not a crime: biased judges, biased judges, and one-sided courtrooms. And yes, you got a lot of judges who are biased when it comes to this matter. Some will even favor these females' claims that the man that they claim is a father of the child, even when he is not. And yes, there was, and yes, there's so many cases. Even when the man fight, even get DNA paternity testing, proving that he's not the father, the judge will still have him go through that ringer. And yes, I mean, straight up, there are cases in Detroit. There's even a case out here where I'm at in Denver. You got judges who are biased and will always be in of favor of the mother. Even 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 paternity fraud advocate Cornell Smith also highlighted this problem as well. I'll also put the link to that video in the comments section as well. And because they do not want to have paternity fraud as a crime, this is why this shit continues to happen. No different than if you're a man who was falsely accused of rape and sexual assault. And the reason why they not punishing these females who falsely accuse these men of rape and sexual assault is the reason why this shit continues to happen. God damn, you can't make this shit up. So many key reasons to why they don't want paternity fraud to be a crime. In fact, the only state, and I'm being honest here, the only state that did make paternity fraud a crime is Alabama. But keep in mind, that's just one state out of all the other states that they still trying to fight it. The worst the worst state of all the states is Michigan. And yes, Dr. Sheba actually actually talked about a case where some random female, which we soon find out is a stripper, got pregnant and just put a random married man's name on the birth certificate. And keep this in mind: the man haven't even laid eyes upon this female, haven't haven't even haven't even met this female before, but somehow she put his name on that birth certificate, claiming that he's the father. He's the biological father of her child, knowing good and damn well it isn't. And yes, Detroit is the worst. Yes, Detroit is the worst is because despite the clear evidence of paternity fraud, you got government legislators out there who are who are so more than willing to fight against fight to fight to fight against the people calling out the issue of paternity fraud. But the question on everybody's mind is why? Why is it so hard for them to make paternity fraud a crime? I mean, she literally lied. These females literally lied to these men claiming that they're the biological father, had them paying child support, have them getting locked up, when in actuality they are not. And yet they do not get punished. And everybody wonders why paternity fraud is still an issue that is not going to go away until until it becomes a crime. My God. But nevertheless, I said what I had to say. I'm done for the matter, and I'm out this bitch. Later.